You might have an anxious attachment disorder and literally not know, yet it is literally ruining your life. Your ability to make friendships and relationships is affected. Your ability to keep a relationship is affected, which could literally lead you to being divorced someday. It's that bad. So today we're going to be talking about attachment disorders, which one you have, and how it affects your life. But first, how's it going, everybody? I hope you all are doing good and having a good day. Go ahead and comment down below how you're feeling, how your day is going, and one thing you did today that was positive. So, could be something for your mental health, could be something for your physical health, like going to the gym. Maybe you hit a new personal record in the gym. Maybe you went for a run. Maybe you said something nice to somebody, or even just held the door open for somebody. Just anything nice, or positive, or good, beneficial, mentally, whatever it is. Go ahead and comment down below one of those things. And you know what? Screw it. Comment down below one thing you're grateful for as well. So basically what we're doing right now, before we get into the topic of today's video, Silk Touch shovel, wow. Something we are doing right now is we are looking for some plants for or flowers for our new greenhouse. And of course, simultaneously, we are also exploring and just kind of traveling around this map we have. So I'm going to put my map on so we have inventory space. Today we're going to be talking about attachment styles. Attachment styles are so important. I mean, when I first learned about attachment styles, it completely changed my life because everything that I've ever known was my attachment style, and I didn't realize how much of a stronghold it actually was over my life and how much it was ruining my life in general. This music is very beautiful, by the way. But ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like a pain in my chest and in my entire body whenever I get told off by somebody or criticized, or, and I wouldn't say it's constructive criticism, but criticism that is slightly like demeaning or harsh or void of empathy and understanding. When it feels that way, I shut down and I feel really, really bad about myself, and then all of a sudden I start sabotaging and thinking very, very negatively, uncontrollably. And I also have the habit of self-sabotaging, which is a part of my attachment style. Basically, I just frequently sabotage, and for example, even this YouTube channel, if I would have kept going consistently for the past year and a half that I've been doing it, I probably would be a lot more successful than me taking breaks and doing it and then not doing it and then doing it, not doing it. The inconsistency of it is not good. So that's a big thing for me, and it's been a lifelong thing trying to overcome this. And there's things that help. The general good habits help. The having God in your life helps because you become more like God when you have a relationship with God, rather than being your anxious, avoidant self. But yeah, also ever since I've been in a relationship and literally gotten married, which crazy. Yeah, I am married, in case you guys don't know. But ever since I've gotten married, it has been super amplified. I mean, I've been in relationships before. I was in one other long-term relationship in high school, early high school, and so it definitely showed itself there too. But oh my goodness, when you're living with somebody and you're actually doing life with somebody, those problems come to the light so much more and are so much more obvious and dangerous and scary and like not good. And so it's really become apparent how bad it actually is, because I am super avoidant, super negative, super reclusive. I like to be by myself, and every time something happens or I get a odd face or gesture or look or comment, I immediately recluse and hide and keep to myself and think negatively and sabotage. And I immediately, instead of working hard on something meaningful or going to the gym, I ruin my day, and that's not good. And I ruin the other person's day as well. I ruin my wife's day, and it is really unfortunate. This is a beautiful little mountain here. Wow. This is a cool area. Yeah, so the three attachment styles, there is actually technically a fourth hybrid one, which I believe I am, but it's kind of like a percentage, I would say, of whether you're a percentage of this, percentage of that. It just kind of depends. Some people are more one thing, and some people are more the other thing. But essentially, the first attachment style is the one we all want to be, the healthy kind, the basically the attachment style that healthy couple that you always see that has no problems. Of course, they do have problems behind the scenes, but they seem they communicate well, they operate well, they go through problems well, they just are normal people. They are the secure attachment style, and essentially, secure attachment means you are secure in the love of your partner, you are secure in yourself, in your own self-esteem and how people view you. Basically, if you have a secure attachment style, that means that you probably weren't neglected as a kid, and you also weren't just like you weren't like plain neglected as a kid, but you also weren't just plain like rejected as a kid. So there's two sides to that. You were neither. You actually were loved. You were shown appreciation and value, and your parents were probably a big part of your life and were there for you. And you could talk to them and trust them, and they could be your role model. If that's the case, you're probably a secure attachment style. The other two are anxious attachment style and avoidant attachment style. And the fourth one is kind of like a hybrid of both. Anxious attachment style basically means that the love you got was inconsistent, and at some point in time you've been rejected and you weren't shown love when you needed it. So now you have trust issues and you don't trust anybody, and every time you get left on red or delivered for a very long time, you start overthinking and wondering if they still like you, if something's wrong. You're just really stressed. It literally puts you in fight or flight mode just thinking about it. And basically every time there's a conflict or the other partner brings something up, you get anxious and get very clingy. And yeah. Now, the avoidant attachment style, this is the interesting thing. Instead of getting clingy and instead of running to your partner, you run away from your partner as a response to the negativity or response to perceived negativity. I forgot we can collect this. Oh wait, no we can't. You need some touch to collect it. Never mind. I want to get out of this biome. This is not where I want to be. I just kind of went straight into it and now I'm stuck here in the Arctic Ocean. So if you get a lot of anxiety when texting somebody, that is a big sign that you probably have anxious attachment style. And of course, there's percentages to it. Maybe you're a little anxious, but not super overly anxious. You probably were showed inconsistency in love and care as a child a little bit, but not like overly. And like you can still kind of trust people that they'll be there for you when you especially need it. But then in other cases, the anxious attachment style is so bad that it literally cripples you and ruins your day, and you're just constantly in fight or flight and chronic anxiety and just stressed. And unfortunately, it's only going to get worse if you don't do something about it, because anxiety is a stronghold used by the spiritual realm to afflict you even more so and cause other problems in other areas of your life. Avoidant attachment style. Anyways, let's get into the avoidant attachment style. This is what I am to a degree. Basically, if you're avoidant attachment style, you start avoiding instead of clinging to people as a response to the negative stimulation. So you basically run away, you recluse, you be by yourself, you hide. If you're the type of person to run away from somebody when you see things getting bad, you basically have the mindset that you want to leave the relationship before the other person leaves. You're kind of putting your guard up and you want to leave before they leave, and you're just taking initiative. And at any response to negativity or criticism or harsh demeanor, or negative, scary demeanor, your response is to hide away and run away, and almost as a way to kind of not look desperate and clingy. A lot of men, I would say, have this attachment style because they don't want to look desperate in a relationship. They don't want to seem like vulnerable. Because when you are told off by somebody or criticized by somebody or somebody's not happy with you, you essentially don't want to just keep pushing into them and kind of, it's hard to even talk about such vulnerable things because it just makes you feel weak and timid and vulnerable, and it's hard. It's really hard. So instead, you just pull away and keep to yourself, and essentially you're trying to resolve the issue by yourself and not with the other person, which causes problems because there's no solution. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's no solution. Oh no, now we have like 100 of these guys. Oh no, great. This is just great. Oh my goodness. Dude, that is avoidant attachment style. Now, a lot of times people have anxious attachment style, but they respond in avoidance. That's kind of what I am. So I'm very anxious. Especially not so much as an adult, but when I was younger, I had a lot of anxiety just in general. But in relationships, I would constantly look to see if they texted back and see if they either if it's still undelivered or if it's still unopened. Oh, it's been 10 minutes. Are they just not responding? Are they busy? Do they not like me anymore? Are they not like gonna be quick to respond anymore because they don't like me? Is the relationship falling apart? That is anxious attachment style. That is textbook anxious attachment style, and that's what I always did. But I respond in avoidance. So, for example, when the person didn't text back for 4 hours, I wouldn't text back for a whole day just to show that, just to kind of get back at the other person, not to hurt them. Because your intention is not to hurt them. Of course, you know you're going to be hurting them, but that's not your intention. Your intention is to make them feel for you, make them feel like emotion for you and want you and kind of chase you, and just to show you that they still love you. Because they can say I love you, they can show I love you, but you're still anxious and you're still uncertain and you still want confirmation and to know that it's all going to be okay and stable. And that their love is not going anywhere. So you pull away, you run away, just like as a child you ran away from your parents because they didn't show you any love and you wanted them to actually chase you and show you love. Even if your parents were angry with you for running away, you wanted to at least feel that they cared. That is how it is in relationships. You run away, you hide, you leave them undelivered back, you are inconsistent, you are all of a sudden your tone changes and you become very negative. Yo, dude, this is ridiculous. Okay, anyways. Now, the scariest part is when there's two avoidant people in a relationship. So, you're avoidant, you run away, you hide, you don't text back, hoping that they will chase you and show you love and say, hey, no, don't run away, I love you, I can't live without you, please don't run away. Like, that's what you're hoping for. And if the other person is avoidant, what happens is they also run away as a response to you running away, and then it's a whole mess of situation until one of you finally decides to text back or reach back out because, well, you love the other person and you still want their presence, and you just kind of give up on the chase. And then either it resolves itself eventually after a long, painful, suffering period, or it doesn't resolve itself, and that's how you lose friendships, lose relationships. Or if it's long-term, if it's like a marriage or a long-term relationship, this is very easily how you ruin it, or get divorced, because you are causing a lot of conflict and a lot of problems that the other person may not be willing to handle for their whole life. And it is unfortunate, but yeah. So how do we overcome this? How do we stop being so anxious and avoidant? Now, a big thing for anxious attachment style is get a life. I know it's really hard to say that in that way, but get a life. Do something with your life. Have a purpose. Have a meaning. A lot of times, especially if you're just texting with somebody, you're just bored. You have too much time on your hands. If you are busy, then you're going to acknowledge that the other person's probably busy too. And assuming the other person isn't playing games with you and just playing the same avoidant games, then the avoidant or just straight up manipulative games, then they are probably just busy doing something else. Even if, and maybe they really, really want to text you. For example, you might really want to text them, but you're just busy doing other things, and you want to kind of text back later when you have the energy and the time to kind of dedicate yourself to it. If you're staying busy, you'll be able to recognize that the other person is probably busy as well, and would love to talk to you later. Set clear boundaries and have quality time for one another. Understand your love languages and how that all works. This is all basic relationship stuff, but it also gets beyond that, and it also just applies to life as well. If you're self-sabotaging because you're uncertain about the outcome, or you're insecure of the outcome, or you're worried about what people think, or you're just self-sabotage because you're avoidant. You avoid your purpose. You avoid what you're supposed to do as a response to something going wrong. Oh my gosh. So, let me say that again. As a response to things going wrong, you avoid that thing or person. So it applies to life as well. I have a habit of avoiding this YouTube channel and avoiding my other YouTube channel because even though I know it's my purpose and it's something I should be doing, I avoid it because when things go wrong, I sabotage and just give up. Until eventually I decide, okay, that's enough giving up, it's been too long, I'm going to go back to my YouTube channel and start going back to what gives me purpose and meaning. This is the way with life too. It's not just relationships, guys. This video is not about relationships, it's about life. How often do we sabotage because something is just not going right for us? How often does that happen for you? Because you are ruining your potential, you're ruining your life, your mental health, your purpose, what gives you meaning, all because something is going a little wrong, and this isn't a way to approach life. So even though I'm still dealing with this myself, I do know how to overcome it, and it's not something that you're going to like to hear. And this goes for anxious attachment style too, by the way. So what I'm saying here is not just for avoidance, it's for anxiety as well. And the biggest thing is having your identity in God and having a relationship with God. I'm telling you, I know so many people are going to click off right now, and that's okay. I love you. I hope you're okay. I hope you got something out of this video, and I'll see you hopefully sometime in the future in another video. But for those who would still want to listen, hear me out. I was not raised a Christian. If you've watched my other videos, you know that. But in fact, I was the opposite of a Christian, whatever that would be. And I eventually came to Christ, came to Jesus, because I was desperate. My mental health was at a low point. I had no purpose. I just wanted to die. God slowly introduced himself into my life, and eventually I straight up, on the verge of giving up, I just went to Jesus Christ and felt so much peace and hope and joy beyond anything I ever experienced, even as a kid, even as a little kid. Not comparable. And essentially all anxiety went away. All depression, depressive symptoms, all sadness, all self-doubt, all self-esteem issues, all anxiety, all worries about what other people think and feel about us, completely gone. Just complete peace and joy. This is what happens when you're close to God. How do we get close to God? We get close to God through, there's a village here. Wow. We get close to God through prayer, basically talking to him and having a relationship with him. And the second thing of how we get close to God is being more like him. So, less negativity, less lying, less lust, less greed, gluttony, anger, all that stuff, violence, whatever addictions we have, whatever. Physical health is a big part of it, because our physical health ties to our mental health and our soul, our spiritual health. So that's a big part of it too. That's a beautiful mountain, by the way. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna climb this roof. I want to just show you guys how beautiful this area is. If we ever give up on our current area, this would be a good spot to build a little village, a little town, maybe make our house somewhere over here, and then the big mountain. Oh wow, that is beautiful. Getting close to God changes your life. You feel like those positive emotions and feelings in life so much more abundantly and consistently when you're close to God. And so eventually the anxiety goes away and you start becoming more secure. You start healing, especially if you actively go to God for your anxious attachment and your avoidant attachment. You pray about it, you talk about it, whenever you're feeling anxious, whenever you're feeling avoidant, just going to God about it. That is a big thing. And you will start feeling like you're healing, like you're doing better. Just like how when you haven't watched Korn for years and years, you kind of start noticing that you're healing and you're not looking or thinking about women or the other gender in a disgusting, lustful way. You're actually positive and upbeat and like good. And you feel cleaner, you feel more pure, you feel happier and more joyful and peaceful. That is possible in terms of your attachment style as well. And you will slowly start becoming more secure. Of course, you turn away from God, you start going back to your negative mentality, your negative thoughts. You will definitely go back to the avoidant attachment, avoidant anxious attachment style that you used to have. Another thing is, in terms of relationships, is force yourself to go to your partner. Talk about it. It is painful. Trust me, I know it is painful, especially as a man. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want to talk about it. Just try and force yourself to sit in the discomfort, sit in the other person's current state they're in. Realize, and just also another thing is, ask for whatever your love language is on top of, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful mountain. This is a beautiful area. What the heck? Why don't we live here? Yeah, ask your partner that whenever they have an issue, on top of confronting the issue, show words of affirmation. Show love in the way that you receive it. It's probably going to be words of affirmation, but it might be physical touch. Maybe what triggers your anxiety or your avoidance would be solved if the other person hugged you or cuddled you while talking about the thing or after talking about the thing. And maybe it's going to be I love you. Maybe it's going to be them talking about how much they love you and just the passion in their eyes when they speak about how amazing you are and how much they don't want to lose you and how they're going to always be there for you no matter what issue they have or how they're feeling. They still feel love for you and care for you. Maybe it's gifts, maybe it's quality time. It could be all these things at once as well. So just show these things to your partner and ask for it in return, and it will make things so much smoother when you do have those hard conversations. There's a village here. Where's the village? Did you guys see that? Oh, it's down here. Huh. But yeah, that's it for you guys. I hope this video helped you in some way learn about your attachment style and how to overcome it. Communication is important. Pushing through the discomfort is important. Asking for what you need, asking for love in return is important. And going to God, spending time with God, and just being more like God is important for your mental health. If you just want to make friends with people who are also trying to improve their life and learn about these things, consider joining the Discord link in the description below. It's just a community of people that are there for each other, and that's beautiful. If you don't have that support system or that friendship and you just feel lonely, please join. You'll meet so many amazing people, and who knows who you might meet in there. I love you all. I hope you guys all are having a good day, and I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Goodbye.